Hello again, my name is Emmanuel and I'm working with Francisco. And so last we left off in the last video, we were discussing what it looks like to create a window with multiple tabs. Now let's go ahead and revisit that real quickly. So just go ahead and load Adempiere. I'll give you guys a quick run through of how that works. Alright, we've got Adempiere loaded. Now this is going to look a little different because I've actually finished everything, and we're just going to run through real quickly and show you what we have to do. So first of all, last we left off, open up our tables and columns. And what you want to do is you want to import your tables that you've recreated. Now, when we last video, we talked about running a SQL query to recreate all of the tables again. So we created let's go back here, I'm sorry, a discussion line and a participants line table, and as well as a CMOM. So to create a new table, obviously, and I'm going to go into the existing one, you hit the new button here, and then you put in these details. Now, again, the discussion line that has to match up, and then after you've done that, you create columns from the database, click that, click OK, it'll get you through. Like right now, if I do this, I actually have no more new columns, so this won't actually change anything. But what will happen is it will auto-populate with all the columns that are in there. You can go into the columns and see all the columns that have been populated. And then, again, we can customize these. Now, these are the names that you will see in the columns themselves. This is what will pop up on the GUI. And then you can start to add descriptions. You can run it active, inactive. And we talked a little bit about references. You can also change references from, for example, if it's referencing a table direct, search ID, quite a few options here, string table, text, URL, yes, no, file path. There are quite a few of these things in here. We'll leave that as is. As you can see, it's got reference keys. We'll talk about these reference keys in a second here. It's a little bit further along. But, so once you've created all that, like I said, you've created this for the CMOM discussion line, and then CMOM participants. Now you want to create these for every single, you have to import each table that you're doing and you want to tab in. Alright? Then you get your columns. After that, you go to your window. And our window is going to be really just going to be this window we're looking for right here. Our minutes of meeting. That's the window we've been working with. So let's go ahead and pull up that minutes of meeting. Minutes of meeting right there. Okay, we've got all this information. You want to make sure that the window type is maintained, user maintained. Then we go into access. Again, you want to double check and make sure the access is fine. And this is where you add the tabs. All right. Our main tab is going to be our MOM tab. This is the name of the tab. It's going to be right there. And let me go ahead and just run this real quickly. I'll show you. So as you can see, our main tab is MOM, and there are a few things. One, we connect it to our table that we've created, leave it user maintained, and then you'll see here sequence. Sequence is 10. So the sequencing, you'll see 10 meaning it's the top one, or I think you can do 0 as well. You can do it in between 10, 20, and 30, but it auto-populates into 10, 20, and 30 usually, and consecutively speaking. And then you can also do tab level, which is 0. So this tab level means it is right here. Tab level 1 is here. So you can actually change those things up. All right. So you can do that. And let's check out what the tab looks like for participants. Again, we have a column link that we've done, meeting a minutes. I'm sorry, that's different. Our table here, sequence is 20, and our tab level is now 1. So as we go through, we can start to auto-populate these things and get it now. Now, one of the things we like to do with these participants is have them as a single row layout. And then once you have that single row layout, I'll show you the way it looks in it. The next thing you want to do, I'm sorry, is you want to actually do this link column. What this generally will create is it creates kind of like a foreign key in my participants table, and it makes it links it to the primary key in the CMOM ID table, is what I'm technically doing. So you're able to do that, and then you can create fields. It'll populate these just like I was doing before in the other videos. So if you look at participants like we were doing, it creates it in a single row layout. So every single thing goes on in single rows. Alright, and that's the way you create a window with multiple tabs. Now the next thing we want to look at is how to create, within these multiple tabs, how to create search fields. So let's go ahead and pull up Adempiere again. And what we want to do, I'll show you guys an example. Right here we've got search fields right here. So for example, if I go to meeting in minutes, if I look at chairperson, I want to be able to click this chairperson, renew it, and once I'm in Garden Admin, actually this will show me all of my administrators, Carl Boss, and all the ones that I have. And I can start to add different users to it and create emails, put in all their information, and then be able to use this to send actually information to all these users. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So first of all, what we want to do is let's go ahead and we want to modify our participants. So I'm going to close this out, pull up Postgres again. What we want to do is run this query again. Now this query can be found, if you want to look it up, it's actually available on Adempiere's cookbook. If you look up the cookbook, I'm using Adempiere 360, so this is the 3.6 cookbook. It's on page 65. This code right here, basically what it does is it's going to delete the table that we had that was participants line, create the new table, and then it's just going to add this line right here basically. It's going to take off participants and add this add user ID. And what we're going to do with that add user ID, if we go into our tables and columns and go to our table, let's go ahead and just look at our participants table, column. We'll add this add user right here, which will become there. Now what we want to do is go to our reference. Let's go to our reference here. We want to change our reference here to search. I showed you guys there were a few different references available. Last time we changed a reference to time and to date. We'll change it to search, and it's going to see what reference key do we have, and we're going to go ahead and point it to add user. All right, and by doing this right there, we're actually able to have the Adempiere, generate a search field in this format when we're looking for it. And what we want to do then is actually, if we look at this, let me show you one more time. My apologies, not there. This add user will be a user contact. But we can actually change this. For example, it can be chairperson. We can change that name. It can be anything else we really want in the name itself. So we can modify the name that it's going to show up as. But for now, we're going to leave this as user contact. I can change it as chairperson as well. Now remember, after you've changed something in the table itself, you do want to go back to the windows and fields. Go to the window, the meeting and minutes window that you're working in. Go to the tab, and we can go to the participants tab. And we want to make sure we create fields. That'll bring over that AD_user field that we were working with, and make sure that is now on there. So what you'll be able to do, we'll go to field. There's our AD user right there. So you can see AD user.id. All right, we want to make sure that is done, just so make sure that everything is tidied up. And to finish off the video, let's go ahead and try and show you exactly what it's going to look like. So we're going to log out of system, log back into Garden Admin. Go to menu, meeting minutes, go to participants. What we can see here in these meeting minutes, once I refresh this, I'm able to see I've got myself here, Carl Boss, person I'm working with on this project, Francisco Burgess, Garden Admin, Joe Sales, my professor. I changed his email actually in here. Let's change that back. But I've got all that information. I can be able to work with it in here. So that's basically how you, again, we covered in this video, how to create new windows with multiple tabs, as well as how to change some of these fields to make them search fields. So I'll see you guys in the next video.